Whenever you have people congregate into communities, you have animals, you have companion animals, and then with that you'll have issues, stray animals, and you'll have animals that aren't getting looked after properly or just can't be and need to be surrendered. And government's kind of lax in that department because it costs money. Funds aren't always there, and so there's volunteers get together, animal lovers that have a passion for helping animals and helping people as well, help to take care of the problem. Because if we don't take care of the stray animals, they will become a greater burden, and disease can build up. You can have stray cats can spread viruses to your little kitty that you let outside off the deck. Leukemia virus, FIV virus, worms, and of course good old rabies. They can spread rabies to any other mammal, including ourselves, that bite your kid or bite your dog or whatever, if they're carrying rabies. So that can be a big issue that people don't realize if there isn't some sort of control on people's problem, that it can get worse, and the rescue definitely is taking charge of that.
The really remarkable thing about Michelle is that she had a desire to start a rescue. She thought that there was a need, she saw a need. Lots of people talk about it and maybe will donate their $50 to the Humane Society, or they have a lot of hopes and expectations and requests of an organization, but Michelle actually stepped up and did it. I can't imagine the amount of work that she put in the early days, and this is mostly running out of her free time and out of her house and with whatever volunteer money and a lot out of her own pocket, as this whole organization has sort of come to fruition. Now it's running like a professional rescue that is tapping into various parts of the community, driven by foster families and clinic support. She's taken something that didn't exist, it was truly nothing, and made something. And it's so rewarding to be part of a team that taps into all sorts of parts of the community.
So we have fostered for 2 different organizations. We've been with the Steinbach Animal Rescue for about 2 years. Steinbach Rescue is a small organization, so everybody kind of knows everybody, and everybody's a volunteer. So everybody's in it for the love of the animals. Everybody volunteers their time, and everybody's just so committed. It's quite amazing when I look at the amount of time that gets volunteered for the animal rescue. It's incredible. Yeah, we do it. I mean, it started because we just really love kittens, but we definitely, obviously, don't want animals to suffer. And you just hear a lot of stories of animals, left at the garbage dump or thrown on the side of the road and suffering and needing forever homes. And so your heart just goes out to that, and you want to help in any way you can.
I think it's really fun to have a bunch of kittens in the house. Sometimes it is hard to see them go if you really love that one, but then you always get new ones, and they're always different personalities and always super fun.
Yeah. And we're always happy to get them with their forever homes. That's always a lot of fun when you arrange a pickup, an adoption, and people are just, anyone sees a kitten and they just melt, right? So it's really fun to see sometimes entire families, right, Mia, come to pick up their new little family members. Obviously, we don't have as many fosters as there is need, so that's a big deal. I think having animals in a home and outside of a cage is fantastic, but that's just not always possible. And so once you have an actual shelter, we don't need to say no. We now are able to, if there's an animal that's suffering and needs care, we can take them into the program.
One time we had a pregnant cat living in our house, and one day I went downstairs because I would go every morning to go check on the kittens.
The cat.
The cat. And I went in there and she looked very slim and she was meowing at me. Like she came rushing out of the closet. She was meowing at me like crazy and I was like, are you okay? And then she was kind of protecting the closet. So I went and I opened the closet and I heard a tiny itty bitty meow and there was a bunch of tiny little itty bitty babies. And I came running upstairs and I woke my mom up and she came running downstairs.
It was very exciting. And what was really neat about that mom in particular is so she had four. And then within a day, there were some orphaned newborn kittens, one of whom had already passed. There were 3, but there were 2 surviving.
I thought there was 4, and then 2 got stepped on by a cat.
I'm not sure, but anyway, they brought them over, and this black cat who had never met them a day in her life, we put them next to her, and she just grabbed them to herself and fed them as part of her litter. So she was black, all of her kittens were dark and black, and there were these 2 bright white kittens that she fed like her own. It was quite remarkable to watch. So as those kittens grew, there was a lot of chaos in the house, 6 kittens, but it was just so fun, right? Yeah, it's so fun.
So I have been rescuing animals as long as I can remember. I think I even brought home a little gecko once, but so back in 2012 I noticed there was really no venue to post stray animals, so I started a Facebook group for people to post animals that were lost and found or animals that were strays, just to reunite and just have a venue for people to go to. And it just escalated from there, so it just all of a sudden turned into a rescue. There was one dog in particular, right in the very beginning, that needed to be rescued. He was wandering Steinbach. It was the dead of winter, and a bunch of us rallied together to capture this dog. And we did capture him, and we brought him to the vet. He had really bad frostbite, and it just made us kind of think like, hey, can we do this? Like, can we keep doing this? Like, let's see where it can go from here. And it just started with baby steps like that, and it just kept growing. It just got to be more and more that we were going out and rescuing these animals that people were posting about. I happen to be friends with a lot of the local vets in Steinbach, so we worked with them. We got amazing deals from them on vet care, and we started having little fundraisers here and there, and then we just decided, like, let's do this. Steinbach needs this. We are a big city already, and there's nothing like it in the city right now, so we just went from there. So some of the biggest challenges we've come to in the rescue business is basically finding enough foster homes. That's can be quite tough, and appropriate foster homes, because we try and link the animal correctly with a foster home. So say we get a dog in that's not good with kids, well, obviously we're not going to put a dog in a home that's not good with kids, and that the animal has to fit the home. So that's probably the biggest challenge that we've faced so far. So funding is a big challenge for us. We rely strictly on fundraisers and the help of the community. So the community is essential to our rescue and to our organization to keep it going. We have very good relationships with the vet clinics in town here. They're awesome to us, but we spend tens of thousands of dollars on veterinary bills, and we can never anticipate the cost one animal is going to be. Some animals come in, they don't need hardly any veterinary care. Some animals come in and they need more than the average. So obviously our next step in this rescue process is to actually have a permanent building. We cannot rely on foster homes alone. We are getting too big, and the amount of calls that we are getting in, it's just essential that we have a home base. So one of the ways the community can get involved in instead of fostering. Not everybody's into having animals in their homes, we know that. But one way is to commit to a monthly donation on our website, and all donations get a tax receipt. So it's a win-win for both situations. So something as small as $5 a month could make a huge difference in our organization.